Hello there. I'm once again deciding to make another video where I speak. This time I'm drawing Iori from the King of Fighters games for two reasons. One, I hardly ever draw guys. And two, well, because his hair covers his other eye, so I don't have to draw the other eye. So as you can see, I've already sort of done the skin, the eye, and his shirt. So I've already like shaded that. So all we have to now shade is the hair. So as standard, I go to the area select tool, take a nice big chunk of hair, and then go to the bucket tool, and then fill with a nice red color. But as you can see when I zoom in, it's got a little gap around where the line is. So between the line and the color there's a gap where there's like no color. So if we don't want that, well, we don't want that. We go back a few steps and then we select the area again, but this time we go to select and then expand area, and we expand it by 2 pixels. So now the color will go under the line. And the only reason I do this, if you're wondering why I do this, is because I draw with the mouse. I draw with the mouse, which again is not really a good thing, but you know, if you're starting out, drawing with a mouse is not too bad. But get a drawing tablet. So with the hair all filled in now with the red, I go to the pencil tool and I just start looking for little areas where there's maybe gaps, and I start filling in the gaps with the pencil tool, just so that there's like really no more gaps. With the gaps all filled in, I take a slightly darker red, and then I start going over all the areas where the hair is, and I start just shading in all the red in a slightly darker red. Also on a new layer, set the layer to multiply and just start shading, leaving some areas lighter, making some areas darker. And I do all this with like the standard brush set to a low opacity. With that done, I then take a much darker red, but this time I use the pen tool and I start making strokes in the hair to show like strands of hair, but like much darker. And this will sort of, you know, show like there's a bit of shadow in the hair. Also doing this on a new layer, also setting the layer to multiply, so that, you know, it stands out darker. But with all of that done, I then take a lighter red. I take a lighter red, start doing the same thing, going onto a different layer, working the going onto a different layer, making strokes with a pen tool, and this time setting the layer to overlay, and this will sort of show like these highlights in his hair now. So we now have dark strands and we now have light strands. So not done with the pen tool yet. I then make another layer. I take the base color red, and I don't link the layers this time. I set it above the line art layer, and I start making strokes again with the pen tool, but this time so it's slightly outside the border of his hair. So now it looks like there's like loose strands of hair. So there's like strands coming out. Like having some strands come off the big crest of his hair, having some strands come across his face. All just to show that there's a few loose strands of hair. With those few loose strands done, I go back onto the skin layer, and now I pick a slightly darker skin color, and I go back to the pen tool, and now I start making like little shadows for where the strands of hair are. So it shows that those pieces of hair that cast a shadow on his face. So now with all of that done, I do the big highlight in his hair. I take not the area select brush, the other one, the lasso brush, the lasso tool. I take the lasso tool and I start making like those little geometric shapes in his hair. I start doing that like all in like a crest, and then I start painting in there with white. With white, but with a light white brush. I start doing that, and then I lower the opacity to about 30%, so that it looks like shine on his hair, and I set the layer to overlay as well. Once I'm done with that, I now do another highlight, but like on the wave of his hair, like just in front, something that shows a bit of shine on the wave of his hair. And I do that also with a low opacity white brush, but I don't do any geometric shapes this time. I just make a white line. And also I link the layer to his hair so that nothing spills over. No white goes sort of outside his hair. And this time I take the smudge brush and I sort of push the lines in so that it sort of creates a pattern of shine in his hair. And after that, I just basically go around and start making things a bit darker on his hair, where it needs to be darker. And there you go, our boy is done with his nice red hair, all done. So yeah, this is how I do hair with a mouse. Hey, I don't always make videos where I speak, so if you like this, consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, things like that. And if you really like what I draw, you can find all my artwork printed on t-shirts, phone covers, stickers, and many more things like that. And the link to that will be somewhere in the description, so consider picking up a t-shirt if you want.